Hello, everyone. Today we have a very interesting session with my student who is who's working in Germany. So I think a lot of students aspire to go abroad and study over there and work over there. So we have Naveen Nazrut with us, and he's going to help us see how can we, if anyone is planning to go to Germany, how can they plan it out. And Naveen, for your this thing, a short introduction about Naveen. Naveen Nazareth was my placement president. I just can't tell you what a fabulous job he did, and he's a mechanical student. Okay, so you know how the opportunities for mechanical were very less, but he was in and out of the placement department. I think right from the first year on, and I've always been seeing Naveen everywhere. And he got into he's a pastor from 2013 batch, got into JSW, and then went on to Berlin TU. And then he's working over there right now. So, Naveen, I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. So Naveen, see, a lot of students, especially in Mangalore and around, and I think even a lot of mechanical students, because you are from mechanical as well as others, they aspire to go to Germany. But can you just get us an overview how it is? I mean, how can a student actually plan to go there to study?
Yeah, okay. So, the first step what a student needs to do is to go on daad.de, that is DAD, and look out for the courses that are available in Germany. So, if a student has a specific line of interest, you just go up to this website or just Google out and look out for the universities which are offering the courses that he or she is interested in. That would be the first step to do, and then look out at the requirements of the course and the admission requirements, the pre-requirements. This would basically be the first step that any student would have to do.
Okay. So Naveen, I just want to check. See, usually when you talk about Germany, it's associated with mechanical engineering. But do other IT people also, CSIS, EC, do they also have an opportunity over there?
Of course, ma'am. I think any branch of engineering has a scope in Germany. So, for example, computer science also has a lot of scope in Germany. For example, with the increasing trend in data science, there are a lot of specific data science related courses that are offered in Germany. And the other normal computer science courses are also offered in Germany. So, in short, every branch of engineering has a certain scope in Germany.
All right. So Naveen, my question to you is: see, you worked for 2 years in Jindal, and then you pursued. So you did your management. I mean, the post graduation. What is it that you did? I mean, it's above an engineering or a specialization course.
I did it's called an MSc, Masters in Science, and
Okay.
I pursued this at TU Berlin in Global Production Engineering. So
All right.
I had a combination of little technical and more management based subjects. And the pre-requirement for this course that I studied in was a minimum of 2 or 1 year of experience.
Okay, so you would recommend someone actually gets a work experience and then comes there, or do you think anyone fresh out of engineering would also be able to do well there?
From my point of view, I would definitely recommend that a student has at least 1 year of experience, because then you always have a safer, you're on the safer side on one hand. But there are certain courses where maybe it is very hard for a student to find a specific job in India, and then there are a couple of students who can directly apply to masters as well. But if you're talking specifically about mechanical engineers, then I would definitely recommend that they have at least 1 year of experience, because this comes an advantage. Even though you switch your streams later on in Germany, you have the basic 1 year of experience or 2 years of experience where you're exposed to the industry and the industrial based problems and challenges. I think this is
All
definitely advantage.
All right. And so, Naveen, suppose someone goes from here to there. What are the things, the challenges that a student faces? I mean, in terms of language, of course, is there. So, I mean, I'll ask about that specifically. But other than that, also, anything because the academic is different in India, maybe, and over there. So, what are the challenges that a student actually faces going there, or are there challenges or not? Aren't there any?
I think that's an interesting question. Yes, there are certain challenges because you are exposed to a different studying pattern and a different curriculum altogether. So the first challenge would be that it could be a little overwhelming at the beginning because if a student goes to pursue masters, especially if I speak about technical subjects, there could be certain instances where the professor teaching could directly jump onto the topic without explaining the basics. So this is one basic challenge that some of us do face.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, I think as far as the studying is concerned, or as far as the subjects are concerned, it's more or less what we would have studied in our engineering, and it's just a little advanced in certain areas, or a little it goes into a little deeper aspects in certain areas. So apart from that, I wouldn't say that it's extremely challenging. I mean, I'm talking only from the course that I have studied, but I have other friends who have taken technical courses and they have had other challenges as well.
Oh, okay. So, studies over there, the university does not charge anything, right? So, correct me if I'm wrong. In Germany, that is what I've heard, that you don't have to pay the course fee, but you have to take care of your living. So, can you just elaborate on that, and how much would a student actually have to spend on stay also over there? If the fees is taken care of.
Normally, courses in Germany are free because it is the taxpayers' money that goes into for the education. So that's why we see a lot of free courses.
Uh huh.
So, it is not scholarship based, but it is basically free courses because then once a student completes and graduates and starts working, you become a part of the system as well. This is how it works in Germany. But there are a lot of courses which are also paid. So if a student wants to decide or has a specific interest for this paid course, then he or she can opt for it definitely. So this paid course varies from institute to institute and courses to courses. So there is no fixed amount that I can actually say. But the course that I pursued in at TU Berlin costed 15,000 euros, so about 10 lakhs for 4 semesters back then, 5 years back.
Okay.
And
So, 10 lakhs was just stay and the other expenses.
yeah, so apart from this, 10 lakhs for 4 semesters, the stay would cost about 8,000 euros, say about 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs per year. But
Mm-hmm.
this is a block amount that has to be put into a bank, and it has to be just deposited there. It could also happen that there are a couple of students who then take up part-time jobs, and then there are instances, or there could be a chance where you don't use up the entire 8,000 euros, so you have some surplus there. Then, so the basic rule is for each year of study, you need 8,000 or 8,500. The basic the the amount has been changed recently, is what I heard of. So 8,000 8,500 euros exclusively for living
Mm-hmm.
and housing in Germany.
All right. But then you said that you also had to spend that 10 lakhs, so many euros for the course also.
Yes. So there are certain
Uh-huh.
courses which are paid as well.
Okay, so yours was a paid one.
My course was a paid one. My
Okay.
course was a paid one because I had to choose between three courses, or I had three options, and one of them was unpaid and two were paid, and I didn't get through the unpaid one because of the competition, and I took up the paid one because those were the two admissions that I had got.
Okay. But now having, and this is all 5 years back, Naveen. So now having studied there and working over there, what would you recommend a student to give it a try? Maybe push a little bit time and still prepare for the unpaid one, or it's okay and you spend your money. I mean, is there any difference in the weightage or because if a student can get an unpaid one, it's like you save a lot of money.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that as for any student who wants to come to Germany, that they are very fixated on the course and the subjects that they want to study. So if it costs something within 15,000 or 20,000 euros, this is still fine because the payback period is very short. So you can pay back all that you have put into your course within say 2.5 years of working. So
Hmm.
according to me, this is a very calculative risk, and I would definitely not recommend any student to take up an unpaid course just because it is free.
Okay.
but rather go towards your line of interest and not specifically look at the finance part. Yes, of course, finance is an important aspect, but if you have a specific affiliation or a desire to study in a certain line, then you could take this risk because depending on the cost, of course. So I would say anything within 20,000 euros is doable.
All right. And Naveen, also, how is it that you get a job there? I mean, here, like in engineering, we have these campus placements. So, how is it? How is the job scene over there? So, does the university help, or do you get some jobs? I mean, jobs, are they easy?
Normally, we come into the same pool like any other German student who is studying in Germany. So we have to apply on our own, and there is no campus rights as such. Of course, there are certain job fairs, but this is just an opportunity for a candidate to just go over to the counters and speak to the HRs and find out or inform themselves about the current positions in the company. There could be instances where in a job where you could submit your resume, but this is not the traditional path that or the traditional, the conventional way that works in Germany. Normally, a student has to look out on the company websites or job portals and shortlist the positions and then apply on their own. This is how
And
it normally.
how difficult is this? I mean, does an average student get a job there, or is it very difficult? And being an Indian, does it pose any challenges?
I think for any average student, it shouldn't be a problem to get a job. But the only challenging part here is that the entire application process is time consuming because you have to edit your documents before you apply to each firm or each company or each position. So this is definitely time consuming. And I think the only disadvantage in certain aspects, or I wouldn't call it a disadvantage, rather a challenge, is the proficiency in German language. This definitely plays a huge role, and also to that, experience also does count. So if a student has a certain amount of experience in a certain field, then this definitely comes in advantage when you apply for jobs.
Okay, and so more or less, you get a job if you are above average, and I'm sure you would be, any student applying over there would be, to be able to cope up over there and get a job. Yeah, and so Naveen, coming to the language part, which is the most important part when you're studying in Germany. So tell us how difficult. I mean, you did start your language training in India itself. So can you tell about how is it? I mean, is it taught in Germany, the language classes, and how important is it for a student to understand, learn German to go to study over there?
The German language, I think the proficiency in the German language is very important, no matter in which field a student studies in, because there is, of course, there are people who still who still say that German, you still can manage in Germany without German, but I would say knowing a certain language to a certain extent or to a certain level is always comes in handy, uh, and especially for the computer science students, definitely there are opportunities where you can manage without the German language. But I would say by large, it is important that any student does at least 3 levels of German before coming to Germany. That is A1, A2, and B1. So it starts with A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So at least level 3 is a must according to me. And it would be better to do it before coming to Germany. Yes, in Germany there are a lot of language schools, and any student can study or advance their language skills in Germany. But the reason I say why to do it before coming to Germany is one, because the entire language learning process is a very time-consuming process because it takes time to understand the finer nuances, the grammar, and everything that is associated with it. The advantage with this is if a student wants to work part time in Germany, as soon as they come to Germany, say within the first 1 or 2 months, then knowing 3 levels or 3.5 levels of German would definitely come in handy because then you understand. If a student cannot, you at least can understand what is being instructed to you at your workplace. So this definitely
Okay.
comes.
So the classes are conducted in German when
If
the
it is
students start.
if it's a partially German taught course, then there are certain subjects that have to be taken in German. But if it is a English taught course, then it is 100% in English. So there's no challenge as with the language if a student opts for an English course, then everything is in English at the university. So the reason I'm stressing on the German language is for a student who wants to start working uh, parallel to studying, or for a student who wants to directly apply for internships in the third semester, for
Hmm.
example.
Yeah. So how,
So,
yeah. No, tell me,
mm,
Naveen.
yeah, just another point is, of course, there are a couple of English jobs also in Germany, but I would say this is just 3% of the entire job market. So 97% of the job market is German jobs, or I would say jobs that basically require a certain level of German.
Okay. So, Naveen, how long does it take for a student to actually learn those three levels while staying in India? How many months? Is it a month or a year? I mean, how many months or does it take a year? And is it
Uh,
very tough?
on an average, let me say, on an average, it is say 2 months per level. So
Okay.
A1, A2, B1, say if a student is really interested in and putting in the hours that are required, I would say good 6 months would be enough to do three levels of German.
Okay. And would you recommend some institutes, or do you think that any institute that is there locally available, or does anyone have to go to those Max Muller centers? I mean, which may be available in the cities, but in a smaller place, maybe you may not have that. So or
I think any student can go to any institute, but
Mhm.
then take up the exam at Max Muller Institute in Bangalore. But I do know that it's getting hard for people to find examination slots with the increasing number of people or students who are going to Germany.
Mhm.
So I do not know of any other language institutes, but I do know that there are a couple of other institutes, and if these institutes are internationally accredited institutes, I think it shouldn't be a problem to take up German or take even the German exam in these institutes as well.
Okay. So another thing is, Naveen, like you said, the students who go there, it's but the universities are sponsored by the taxpayers. This thing. So is it mandatory that they have to work there? Is it some sort of a unwritten or a written clause that you have to work there, or is it like once you finish, you can come back to India? And if they come back to India, do they get good jobs? This is another thing, or is it better that they stay back and continue pursue?
Mm, of course, there is no written agreement or a written clause, or no student is bound to stay back in Germany. It is a free. It's for the student to decide if he or she wants to stay back or to come back to India. Uh, from my point of view, or my suggestion would be to maybe stay back and work for a year or two, and so this way you get the German experience on one hand, and the other hand maybe you can recover the amount that you have invested in your studies.
All right. But I think most of the students who go there and start working, they continue there, right? Because yes or no, Naveen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what is it about Germany that attracts people and they want to continue working there?
I think it's the overall experience that a person gets. So
Uh huh.
I wouldn't want to compare the Indian market and the German market in parallel, but I would say that in Germany, because uh, things are moving fast, and you're in a market where the advancements are happening faster, and things are more structured, and so I think it's the overall experience. It's quite hard for me to explain
All
it.
right.
The overall experience is great.
Okay. And what is it about India that you miss over there, Naveen?
I think family the most.
Okay.
This is something that I miss the
All
most.
right. And food, I mean, people are able to get used to the food over there. And I'm sure there's a lot of options, but how is it?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of options here, and over the years that I have seen is everything can be ordered online, so there's no problem to get your spices and the other things online to cook. So
Okay.
there's absolutely no problem
Okay.
to.
And yeah, so Naveen, finally, any message, to the viewers who are aspiring to come to study in Germany, anything that last minute, any tip, final tip from your end?
Uh, a tip from my side would be to just be focused on what a student wants to aspire, and that he or she decides to come to Germany because they want to study in a specific line or to make a career in a particular line and not just come to Germany because they want to come to Germany. I think I've mentioned this or I have told this to many people who have asked me before as well. So this would be the thing that I would stick on to. And the other thing is, I know there is a certain amount of uncertainty with the existing pandemic, and no one is unsure of how the market develops. But I would just say, if a student is planning to come and pursue their masters in Germany, I think there shouldn't be a problem because if a student wants to come, say, in this year or next year, then you have 4 semesters till you finish. So there's enough time where the market could pick up and the scenario could change.
Yes, Naveen. So thank you very much for joining and sparing your time and your this thing. And it's so nice to see you, Naveen. I don't think you've changed a bit, and I just hope you continue being the way you are. And thanks so much. And when you come next time to Mangalore, please drop in, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, ma'am. It was a pleasure
yeah.
to talk
Thank
to
you.
you.
And
Thank you.
our viewers, I hope this was helpful to you. And till we meet again, it's bye from both of us.